On this Saturday afternoon, back live at Commonwealth Stadium. Earlier we heard Don Whitman in conversation with Toronto head coach Don Matthews. Now, once again, Don Whitman, this time in conversation with Regina's Jim Daley.
This has been a very different year, and at times I'm sure a very difficult year for you. Apart from the controversy surrounding your quarterback, there was all sorts of speculation during the season that your job was on the line.
Well, I think any time you're in pro sports, your job's on the line. Unfortunately, in Saskatchewan, it's every day. And, you know, if that's going to bother you or something you can't handle with you, you're probably in the wrong spot, because it is a hotbed of football. It's a fishbowl. It's, I guess we've often paralleled it to coaching hockey in Montreal. So that's just the way it is. And you have to be able to function in your job with all that pressure from media or fans on a daily basis, or it can become a little bit of a problem for you.
What about your own career? A true Canadian story in that you came up through the minor football ranks, through junior football, through collegiate football, to become a head coach. I mean, you've worked your way through the Canadian system, as it were. Well,
you know, we really haven't, or I haven't, and I don't think many of us have had an opportunity to sit back and really think in those terms too much, because if you sit back and think too long about being satisfied with what you've done, you're not getting ready for your next opponent. And our whole focus goes into preparing for a great Toronto team.
Jim, obviously any discussion about the season involves the early September problems surrounding Lamar McGriggs and K.D. Williams.
In a course of about 16 days, we had a whole combination of 2 or 3 events happen just like that, unanticipated, foreseen, that really disturbed our team, I think, and it took a little while to get a real feel for it, because it's not all that easy to sometimes see, analyze, and identify what a problem might be. And finally, unfortunately, with the comments made by 2 very good football players in the newspaper regarding their teammates, regarding our operation as a team, our management, our coaches, our whole franchise, really painted a really unrealistic picture of our team, and they may have been just expressing some frustrations, but they were really wrong. One, in not only doing it in that domain, but also doing it with what was not true.
And in a province like Saskatchewan and a city like Regina, where everyone was so close to the football team, I mean, that's the big story, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's a really big story. This football in our province is really important, and when people say the things that were said, one, it reflects badly on them if it's wrong, as it was, but you know what, it still casts a doubt as to our whole team and how we are operating as a franchise or as a coaching staff or as a team. And you know, to me, that was a very easy situation to handle. That took 10 seconds to know what to do there. Those were good people, those 2 players, and they're good players, but they could no longer function as part of our team, having said the things they did about their teammates, their coaches, and the team.
How easy was it to handle the situation in Ottawa where you had Dexter Manley foisted on you and you had to walk out?
Well, you know, that was, you know, to be honest with you, those are simple decisions. It's not the deciding part that's hard there. It's living with the ramifications, of course. One, you know, the Dexter Manley thing was an easy one. A player was going to lose a job because ownership wanted to put Dexter on for marketing purposes. Now, if Dexter was a better player than the player that was going to lose his job, then it's irrelevant. Just do it. But if he isn't a better player, then that's wrong. That player who was in that position earned that job. He has a family. He had children to support. And we, in our jobs, lose our jobs as players and coaches very quickly anyways. You better be losing them because someone's better, not because of politics.
There are some people who have suggested when you came in, because you don't have the great, as some would say, American coaching background, that maybe you were in over your depth. Have you ever felt that?
I never feel over my head in anything in terms of because I'm a Canadian. Certainly, when I first took over the Ottawa Sooners as a head coach, there were times in that first month or 2 where I wondered, oh, how did I get into this? I don't know if I can handle this. I mean, when you take steps up the coaching ladder, same as your job, when you take your steps, there's always a stage initially where you think, boy, maybe I am over my head. It's got nothing to do with being Canadian. It's got to do with going from college to an assistant in pro to a head in pro. And you either understand that that's part of the normal learning curve and you handle it, or you are intimidated by it.
Did you ever realize there were this many Saskatchewan fans around?
Well, you know, I remember our first year when when I was here as an assistant going into BC and Calgary, and it was home games in some situations. It was amazing, like the number of Saskatchewan fans. The last 2 weeks have been stunning, the number of Saskatchewan fans at the Calgary semifinal and the West final here in Edmonton. And I have a feeling that there might be about 50 to 55,000 fans supporting us this Sunday in the Grey Cup. You know, this may be the third biggest city in Saskatchewan this Sunday.